Hi, this is Lisa Tedder with Tedder Bear Stamping, and I'm glad you could join me today on my Tuesday Technique video. And here is a flower that I am making, I will be making it today too. That's a 3D flower, and I wanted you to get a look on it. It's very, really pretty, and it's dimensional. So I wanted to show you how to do it. But first I'm going to do the base of the card so you can get that. And it opens like this. I just wanted you to get this part first so that the drying period for the flower won't be able to happen unless it's off camera. So I wanted to show you everything I did and then show you the flower. Okay, so let's get started. First off, we are going to start with my piece that I am going to go ahead and put on to cut out my thing from the Flourish Thnlits. And you're going to peel this off on the Sizzix sheets. This is because this is so delicate. It's very hard to glue down because it's got a lot of holes. So you're going to go ahead and peel this off. And put the sticky side down. Then you're going to turn it over and you're going to run this through your Big Shot. And then when you come back out, it is going to have a backing on it. And you can see all the fine details. So it would be extremely hard, if you see how skinny it is, to get glue on there. So I wanted to get that started first. So I'm going to go ahead and put it on this piece of paper, which is, let me measure to make sure, 3.5 by 4 3/4. And so I'm going to go ahead and take this off now. And I don't know that you guys used this before, back when Stampin' Up! Had it before, or the red line tape. It was extremely hard to get off. But now it's so simple. You just put it through and it comes right off. So there is no problem with that. All right, so normally I would cut this flower off. That's why it's not quite whole, because I'm going to have my flower over it. But I did not want to do that because I'm going to cover it up anyway, so it's not a big deal. So then I'm going to go ahead and cut that in half, and that is going to be at 1 3/4. So I'm going to bring in my cutter, because this is what I wanted it to be attached first. That way I know that I've got it down before I try to piece them back together. And this piece has, it's got a little piece that's there. All right, so 1 3/4 is the halfway mark. And so you go ahead and you cut that. I need to trim just a little because the backing just stuck on there. All right. So now they're in half. And so I'm going to keep those on there. And then I'm going to come in with a piece of the lemon lime. And that is going to be 3 3/4 by 5. And it's going to be the backup for that. Okay. So now I have that, and I'm going to slide this over and come in with my cutter again, and I'm just going to cut this in half, which is 1 7/8. You still want the top to be the same. You only need these to be separated. So I'm going to go ahead and put these together. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on this. And I'm going to butt it up right up against the edge. There's that one. I want to make sure I get it on the right side, which will be this side. Okay, so now when you put them together, they're going to match up. Then you're going to come in with your regular size sheet, which is the 5.5 by 8.5, and you're going to score it at 2 1/8 because that is half on the front. And then flip it around and 2 1/8. All right, and then and it folds together. Now, if you're a little off, like I am, just a tiny bit, I'm going to come in with my bold folder, make this go a little bit closer to make sure that they meet. All right, that looks better. So then you're going to go ahead and put these on the front. And again, you're going to have them butt right up against it because you want it to be next to each other so that the image looks like it's continuing. Okay, so there's your base. Now let's get to the flower part. What I did, and I'll bring that in so you can see, is that I used the Designer Series paper from Eastern Beauty, I think, or Eastern Palace, the Designer Series paper. I'll have it written down for you. And I did not want to waste a lot of my designer paper, so I went ahead and used the dies from that set and cut 3 of the blue and just 1 of the top because this is going to be the one on top. So also with this, I used the Pansy Punch, and then I just have to get one with the lemon lime. So I got that. I thought these 2 flowers look good together. So let's do the big one first so that you can see what I did. And I'm going to get in a piece of scratch paper because I don't want to have it get on my sheet here. Okay, so you're going to come in with a brush, which I just have a felt brush, and some Mod Podge, which I've had forever, but it just keeps working, so I got a big one, which I'm glad of. All right, so you're just going to cover the whole area with Mod Podge. Then you're going to lay down one of these on top. This keeps your fingers from getting dirty because you're putting a nice clean one in between. Except for I'm brushing over my fingertips, so that doesn't help keep them clean. Then I'm going to put in the next one. Trying to line up the holes, the little holes that are in there from the die. Okay, and then one more time. Hold on. And now I just recalled, I didn't want to use this. I wanted to use my pad here because of this very reason. Do you see how it's stuck on there? You want to use this nice pad here. And I'll have that written down for you on what it's called. My mind is just not getting it right this second. All right. So I'm going to put this aside for a second and line this one up. All right, so the last one I did, let me bring it in one more time, is, whoops, wrong one. I left these and I want to cut down in between them because I want to see what that looks like. I can never just do a project and redo it exactly the same because I always like to see what happens if. So you guys will have to tell me what you think. So I'm just going in, not too far, because I don't want them to meet, with my scissors. Just so I can give it more of a curl. All right, so now you've got the hodgepodge on the inside, and I'm just going to move this around until I get a look that I like. And I kind of like it to be more flipped up, and this way you'll really be able to tell. See, I'm really turning them. And when it dries, it's going to hold this shape. Now, if you broke the fibers ahead of time, like by taking your bolt folder across it, it wouldn't have like any of the wrinkles in it, which I can pretty much smooth out. But that's just another way of doing it if you decide you'd rather not do that step. All right, so I'm going to put that aside for a second and come in with the other one. And I'm going to do the exact same thing. And I'm going to speed this up just a little bit. So now I've got that all done, and I'm going to go ahead and cut into this one too, which gave me the idea to do the last one, which I really do like that it goes in a little bit further. Now, if you notice when I had it sped up, is that it was, I didn't know this until I started working with this, that Pansy Punch is not the same all the way around. So you have to make sure that you kind of turn your punch so that they kind of line up. All right, so now I have them all puffy how I want it. And you can put anything in the middle of this. I chose to put a piece of the blue paper that matches the other flower in here, just because I thought it looked really pretty up against the green. All right, so let me turn this so you can see. You can see there's a big indent in the middle. All right, so once you're done with that, you're going to, it doesn't matter that this is messed up because it'll dry and you can just wash it off. That's the great thing about this mat. All right, so then you're going to come in with your glue. That's the fine tip glue, and you're going to spread it over the whole thing. And this is why I couldn't show you everything, because I didn't want you to not see the rest of the card. So you're just going to fill this in with the glue just so that it dries really shiny. Okay, so now I'm going to set that aside to dry. I learned this a long time ago when I went to convention with Stampin' Up! And went to a late night stampers convention where you win ahead of time. And I wanted to give them credit because this is not my idea. I mean, this card is, yes, but not the rest of it. So I went ahead now and I'm going to do the sentiment, which I'm going to use on a piece of white scratch paper. And I'm going to say, God wanted to brighten up the world. And then I'm going to emboss that with clear. Sorry, I did that out of your focus. And then I'm going to take it through the Big Shot using the lots of labels. And I'm not going to use the whole thing because I want to not hide my flowers behind. So I'm going to be cutting off this edge and this edge up here just to give it that look. So let me go get that done and I'll be right back. Okay, so I cut some of it off already using because the paper wasn't on there. So I'm just going to take off this last curve, and it's pretty easy just to eyeball. And then I'm going to back it up by doing the same thing with the denim. And then I want this side to have more on the back, so I'll tell you why in just a second. So I want it to have a little bit of a border so that it stands out against the background. And then this is going to go on this side. So when you go to put it on your card, okay, so I'm going to put dimensionals just on the back. Because you're not going to see this break because it's going to be covered. So I'm going to take off those. So now when you do it, it doesn't look like it's broken up. All right, so then once your flower dries, I put it on dimensionals, and I put one of those really pretty glitter dots on, and depending on which color you used is what you would put on there. And I did that with, put the glue around that too. So that is my design. And then on the inside, I did 2 of the leaves from the stamp set, and because this said God wanted to brighten up the world, so he made you. I thought that's a really pretty saying. And I will let you know what that set is from too. But don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that when I do my Tuesday techniques, or Technique Tuesdays, that you will get to see them. And I really like to do things a little bit over and above the top. Just, I don't know why. That's just the way I am. So I'm hoping that you will subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you liked what you saw. And if you have any ideas that you'd like to have me try, I would like to go ahead and give it a try. All right, so I will talk to you next Tuesday. Thank you.